Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. It's your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. I'm Bob Matthews. Hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of coverage. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We are coming to you with our first thoughts right after the Commanders lose their seventh straight, this one in overtime. Second straight game in overtime, this time to the Denver Broncos, 27-26 last night at Northwest Stadium. You know, I got to be real with you guys. I don't know how this is going to play out tomorrow in the Twitter sphere with the chattering class, however you want to call it. I can't kill them that much on this one. I know there isn't such a thing as a moral victory, but good God, I mean, what can you say? I mean, they stood there toe-to-toe with Denver through regulation, hit a kick at the end of the game to win it, had a game or to tie it, had a game-tying drive. And then when you look at that two-point conversion that Denver was able to defend against, they had the right play called, and it was simply a case of Denver made a play, and batted the ball down. Had that not happened, had Benito not knocked that ball down, Chris Rodriguez would have waltzed into the end zone, and we would be talking about a 28-27 overtime win. It's one of those games where you go back and look at it, they didn't do a whole lot of stuff wrong. Yes, Bobby Wagner got beat on that long pass there in overtime by Evan Ingram. I get that. I do. And we all know that Bobby Wagner has lost too many steps, to not have that happen in a game. But, it's not like Denver made a huge amount of mistakes in this game. It's not like the Commanders were just lucky to be there at the end of regulation and going into overtime. I mean, that was an evenly played football game. Both teams played well on offense. Both teams played well on defense. I got to say, Denver, that was a very, very underwhelming offensive performance from them, to be honest with you. I get that they're 10-2 now, but, boy, I tell you what, after watching Denver and when you just consider the fact that if the Patriots are, if New England's having the type of year like Washington had last year where everything's just kind of going right, man, if you're a team like Kansas City or Baltimore or Buffalo, I mean, right now Josh Allen has got to be salivating saying, man, this is our moment. We're not going to get a better chance than this, especially if the Chiefs wind up on the outside looking in. If they've got to go through Denver, I love Buffalo's chances now to get to the Super Bowl. Again, providing that Kansas City doesn't find a way into the playoffs. And boy, if the Chiefs do, I wouldn't be sweating going to Denver, not with the offense that I saw against Washington. Couple other thoughts for you on this one. Thought the offensive line played great. You got to remember, Denver came in leading the league in sacks, and they got to Mariota twice. What happened tonight, if you remember, we talked about it last week. We talked about this being a possible scenario tonight. Denver's offense is very underwhelming. Washington's offense has been serviceable this year, okay? It did not surprise me that Mariota played as well as he did. He has played well this year. The offense, all things considered, has played well this year. It's been the defense. But, and if you want to look for some positives out of this second straight week now, you've seen a pretty solid defensive effort here, simplifying things and just kind of doing enough to stay in the game. No chunk plays once again this week. Mikey Sanders still looked really, really good on the outside. held Cortland Sutton pretty much in check. Let me look at the stats. Yeah, Sutton 5 catches, 62 yards. He did have a 31-yarder, and he had a touchdown. Yeah, but it wasn't a game wrecker like we've seen with CeeDee Lamb in the Dallas game and stuff like that. So Dan Quinn taking over the defense has definitely improved it. Obviously, the year is over. The Commanders are not going to finish with the winning record, but it'll be interesting to see if they can build some momentum here going forward. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Couple of things to talk about. I know a lot of y'all out there have been saying we need to see more Treylon Burks. Well, we got to see him, didn't we? And that was pretty impressive. That was probably one of the best touchdown catches you are going to see this year. So I will be, he only had that one reception. He was targeted 4 times. So obviously, not telling you anything you don't know, needs to become more consistent. But it'll be very, very interesting to see, if he gets some more opportunities here down the stretch. I think they've got to be thinking that they've got somebody here that they definitely want to bring back next year. I think it would be, way too big a gamble to say, okay, he can be our big play guy next year, and not look for, a Brandon Ayuk in free agency, not look for somebody in the draft. But Treylon Burks definitely deserves a longer look here down the stretch. And how about Terry McLaurin? Wow. You can't say that McLaurin wasn't effective today too. And I'll get back to McLaurin in a second. Forgot that I had made the title of segment 3, can't play Marcus, and you can't. Again, okay, if you really want to stretch this thing to the extreme and the first quarter interception and everything, but no. I'm not blaming Marcus Mariota on this one at all, even with the failed 2-point conversion. 28 for 50, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Again, numbers, good enough to win. It just didn't work out that way this time. It was decided by a single point. The running game looked good. I thought Cliff Kingsbury called a great game. The running game looked good. 33 rushes, 143 yards, and then Mariota through the air. And again, Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz, man, have a day, both of you. McLaurin, 7 catches, 96 yards and a touchdown, and Ertz, 10 catches for 106 yards. Yeah, I know he had a couple of drops in there, but man, oh man, Terry had 14 targets, Ertz had 13. And I'll tell you what, you start talking about guys to bring back next year, Zach Ertz still hadn't missed a game this year. If he wants to come back next year, I say sign him to another deal and bring him back. He's one that you can run back next year. And again, I think we see just how important McLaurin is for this offense. Again, interesting to see what happens next year and down the road. Because remember, that new deal that he got was really only a 1-year extension. But I think you can see just tonight that Terry McLaurin hadn't lost a thing. Not a thing, and he should be a part of this team for quite a few years to come. Really, really good performances all around. It's just one of those things. So what's next for this team, you might ask? Well, I really want to see how they play down the stretch. Sunday against Minnesota, I was really thinking that one could get ugly too, but if this defense, the way it's looked the last 2 weeks, if it can come up with that kind of effort. And again, I know that they got Justin Jefferson out there, but considering he's going to get thrown to either by an undrafted free agent or J.J. McCarthy, I think that, this Minnesota game, one that I was thinking earlier in the week, probably not going to win. I think they can win that one now if this type of defense shows up. Jaden might be back, and I think it's important for Jaden Daniels to play. If he's healthy, get him in there. And then it'll be very interesting to see the progress made the last 4 games of the year. The Giants, I think they can beat, but I really want to see how they play against Philly and the second game against Dallas, because I thought they were, really run out of the building, obviously, that first game against the Cowboys. I want to see that be a vastly different game this time around and build some momentum going into 2026. Give me your thoughts on it. Write us some comments down there. We will talk about it all tomorrow. Also have some film study for you. Again, 7th straight loss, but not one you can, I really don't, technically it's got to be Misery Monday tomorrow, but you know what? If you got to lose on Sunday night, that's the way to do it. Talk about it all again tomorrow. Again, like and subscribe, and like the wise man once said, if you're on your bike, then it, as always, do wear white.